My name's Bialkowska. I'm chair of the Tang Hall Big Local. So thank you for the invitation, Rob, and welcome to our neck of the woods that is Tang Hall Big Local. I've worked with computers my whole adult life, from large mainframes at Boots head office in the early 1980s, alongside programmers and IT departments, which was quite interesting, suggesting programs that could improve the buying and selling in retail, over 1,000 retail stores. And all the way from that to the early incarnations of websites in the mid-1990s. Does anybody remember the BBC programme called The Net, 1994? That's when I really got into it. It was an amazing programme on BBC Two for about 4 years that just, really talked about it. It was fantastic. And then from the early incarnations of the website in the mid-1990s, so I used to set up websites for large law firms and award-winning websites quite early on, so I was very into it, to what we all see today as digital life at home and at work. So I think what started as useful additions to commercial life has evolved into an essential part of everyday living, to the extent of, if you are not online or have access to online services, then you are at significant disadvantage, as more essential services are using online platforms to contact and connect with their client and customers. No more so than the recent and highly successful restructures of .gov.uk sites. I don't know if anybody saw it, but it's a fantastic reinvention of the government sites. For our Tang Hall residents with limited or no access, it's already adding to high levels of deprivation, as more service providers and in particular government agencies use online by default. The 13% figure of the population quoted by the Office of National Statistics in the first quarter of 2014 translates into 6.4 million adults. That's the quote I was saying wrong. 6.4 million adults in the UK never having used the internet. A large proportion of that fall in deprived areas such as Tang Hall, and it's therefore important for us that if we want Tang Hall to be a better place to live, then we have to address digital inclusion as an integral part of our local plan. I'm passionate about being digitally inclusive and providing all our residents with an opportunity to open doors to digital inclusion. Currently in Tang Hall, the only public place with Wi-Fi access is the library. They've got great facilities and great training and provide residents with different types of kit to try out. However, they have limited space and limited opening times, and there's no public transport links to the library, making it less accessible to many of Tang Hall residents. This building, Tang Hall Community Centre, is linked to the dark fibre network that the council developed. So the council computers here are linked. York Mind, who is giving you digital access today, as tenants have bought access upstairs. However, the centre is in process of going through an asset transfer, and as such is not on the network and has to make do with poor connectivity, as it can't afford to plug itself in. I have lobbied the council extensively about this over the last year and a half, and we are hoping that this will be rectified fairly soon as more digital inclusion grants become available. In fact, I heard good news yesterday about Wi-Fi in this building, and I leave Rhiannon Davis to fill in the details when she talks later on. We are currently in the draft stage of our local plan, having just agreed the draft and putting it out to consultation in the community in the next month or so, and hopefully having the plan approved and ready to go in spring 2015. Our themes are well-being, environment and transport, young people and family support, amenities and local facilities, and lastly, building community connections. I see digital inclusion as a core part of the delivery of the many parts of the plan, and something our partners already have as standard practice. Catching up is part of our capacity building and developing a longer-term resilience to last for longer than the 10 years that we've been allocated. In the first year of our Tang Hall local plan, we want to do a feasibility study to try and find out what the scale of the exclusion is and how we can best address any solution in a way that fits in with Tang Hall. By working with agencies who are already embedded in the area, we hope to be able to find out how great the need is. We've already got anecdotal evidence of families where children are unable to do homework online and are not able to develop their social lives in the same way as their better off counterparts. I'll be very interested to see how other areas have worked out how to develop free community Wi-Fi, what the costs were and how they managed to keep it sustainable. I'll also be interested to know if there have been technical developments since then and if there are other options we need to consider. As a potential provider, we want to be able to offer a Wi-Fi service for those who cannot either afford it or have very limited bandwidth and allowances. There's also the hardware issue. Should we provide devices for rent or make sure they're cheap to buy? Could we use competitions with digital inclusion products and services with a quid pro quo that winners engage with the community in order to access their prizes? Should we use Skype as a way of befriending our neighbours? Can we use digital inclusion ideas as part of the integrated health and social services developing care hubs? These are serious questions that we will be asking of ourselves in the next few months as we aim to improve the digital lives of all those living in the Tang Hall Big Local area. Thank you. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any questions, Joanna?
Could I have a read of the digital inclusion part of your plan?
Yes, certainly. Absolutely.
Go on.
Package?
Same question.
Yes. Happy to.
All the presentations, I think I'll email them out to.
It's about the digital.
Yeah.
Stick them on Twitter and John's filming the whole event. And it will be on the web. So,
Right.
yeah.
I haven't signed anything.
You're about to.
Hi.
Any royalties? Layla's here anyway, so I'm sure it'll go out into the big local world anyway. So. She's armed.
Rob.
Can you tell me a bit about how you're going to consult on the draft plan, where, how, when that is and so on?
What we've got is we've done sort of, like the big local trust are always trying to get us to use visual minutes. What we've done is we've developed a banner with our draft local plan on it as a sort of visual thing, which will be ready for an event we've got on Saturday. We're going to be showing local films which we've used as part of the consultation, and at that presentation we're going to be asking people, giving them sort of picking out like the big local theme, so not having to read the whole plan and actually saying, is this the sort of thing you were thinking of, that will be in the local plan, do you agree with it in general, and how would you like to join in? So we're really encouraging people to say at what level they think that they will be able to engage with us. So we're going to every single other event that we know of in the area to take we've got 2 banners now, and we've got lots of photographs, lots of film. We've got a Tang Hall Big Local channel on YouTube, so if you just put in Tang Hall Big Local, we've already got about 5 or 6 photographs. We've put, not photographs, short films, and we'll be putting more on after Saturday. So we're using digital already as a way of being inclusive. So we got extra funding for a film project which came from the Joseph Roundtree's Foundation, which is a big local foundation in York, and obviously known nationally, but they're actually based here in York. Right, so you're from York?
I'm working for JRF.
Oh, well, there you go. So thank you very much for the funding. So they gave us £5,000, and instead of us just doing the film, we actually asked local, particularly a young group of filmmakers to come up with ideas for films and filming in the community. So we used a professional who's actually a resident in the area, which was good to give work to local people. But then he actually collated and managed a project of a group of about 8 youngsters, which came out of a big gig last year. So every line aspect of it is about being inclusive and consultative. And this Saturday is our first time when we will be able to show what we've done, but it's a fantastic opportunity at the end of the film show, and as we're eating all this lovely food that we've organised from a local supplier, is an hour's worth of consultation about the local plan, because we only agreed it in the last meeting. So it's a draft local plan. Yeah.
Any more for that?
Any more for anyone?
In which case I should introduce John, who has taken us forward